back towards you like that. Everyone ready?
Yep.
Good to go? Ready. Alright, I'm doing it. And we're back.
We're back.
We're back, baby. And we leveled up. We've leveled up with the studio in the past 2 episodes. And now we're occupying all chairs. The gentleman to my left, Culture Code, join us. How you boys doing?
All good, thank you for having us.
No worries. Thank you for trekking down from Brum, from at my ends. This is a full, well,
it's not really.
You're not full there. You're not proper Brummy really, but we're occupying.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, how you guys feeling? You excited to be here?
Yeah, good.
Really good, mate.
And it's been a big year when it comes to like your releases. So far, I sort of went for your Instagram and you're like, no, been a bit quiet, but you've dropped already this year.
Yeah.
You've had You and I that we released as part of the NCS 10 campaign last year. How does it feel to be back releasing tracks again?
Yeah,
it was a tough couple of years, wasn't it? I think just COVID just affected us more than we originally thought it did. And we let 2 years slip away from us, but we're back. We got more releases lined up now than ever, and
yeah, I was happy to be back. Happy to carry on making music. We did slip up a little bit, but you know, it happens.
COVID did it to everyone, so
yeah.
we're all right. Dan, have you got any of the week's releases to play before we get into chatting?
I do.
Amazing.
So yeah, we have this snippet. I guess if you explain it, Sam, while I find it.
Yeah. So before we get into like chatting and discussing the journey that you two have been on, the solo project, the duo project turned solo, turned duo again to where we are now. We started off, as Dan says, by listening to some of the tracks that we've had come out, and then later on in the show we'll listen to some upcoming ones. So it'd be good to get you guys' feedback on some of these songs and what you think about them.
So these came out last week and this week. So we had Tolef, Take Our Time, which is like an indie dance sort of track.
Dude, that got the indie dance. It's just indie dance everywhere. For sure.
It's also kind of like the return of the Orange Circle, which we haven't had for a while. Fast forward a little bit. Really cool guitar.
He has such a signature sound. I spoke to Tolef. What you boys think of that one?
bouncy.
Yeah.
Very bouncy. Yeah. It is that sound that I think he really runs with. When I spoke to him, we were talking about implementing like live instruments because he has a lot of like electric guitar. No, do you guys do that at all in terms of like actually playing, or is it inputting a lot of time?
Literally just started doing that.
Yeah,
Actually,
we had
Friday.
we had a session guitarist come in for the last track. I'm learning myself, but nowhere near like the level that he's at.
Yeah.
So it was just but we're definitely going down that route. You know, we're trying to get more live instruments and
Become more musical. Then
just
button push.
trying to make music. Yeah,
It's good for the Instagram as well. Then
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
do like one of those really slow videos. You just playing piano. Beautiful. What else? We got, Dan?
So then we've got Beef Talk, which is our first like kind of UK like garage track.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Yeah, we can
I
hear
just
you.
can't quite hear myself. It's fine. This was a really cool one. So we've never really done this style before.
I'm gonna say this is new, right?
Yeah. Fast forward a little bit. Yeah. You guys into any sort of like garagey stuff?
I was massive on garage.
Yeah.
Absolutely
was it?
massive.
As a kid, you was.
But I don't know about you guys. I think garage is making a comeback at the moment.
Big
Yeah.
time. I think
sure.
the sound of UK electronic, whatever that is, and I think it is that kind of we mentioned it when we had Sam Day, our last guest on, of like it's like the minimal but it's sort of like quite emotional sound, I think. Anyway,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the right way to word it. This is episode 10 of the podcast, and I'm just about managing to get my words out. We're at double digits though, by the way. So congratulations to everyone for making it to double digits. What else we got?
So then we had Diviners and Assertion feat Dace Williams. Reality. I feel like Diviners were kind of around like your guys' time, like from way back.
Yeah, besides the same age, when was this?
Really? Oh wow.
That's sick.
Kind of future housey for diviners, to be honest.
It is. But I'm a sucker for triplets. So
I was literally just going to mention it. That's becoming a recurring thing as well.
Yeah.
That triplet sound, the flow. People are loving that at the moment. Anything else? Or are we good to go?
3 more, which I'll whip through. So then we've got Good Night Freedom. Good Night Freedom.
It's like a lo-fi beat.
Yeah. Drops kind of chill as well. So quite a chill one. I like that one. Then we have Coupex, Nito, Honor, and DJ Frog.
DJ Frog?
Yeah. DJ Frog. What a cool name. Whispered Promises. Whispered Promises? Yeah.
Promises.
Baby, just I follow you no matter where. Think you better run out sooner. Follow you no matter where.
Another cool
That's
one.
really cool.
Yeah.
I always say this before. I don't know if you guys know what the technique is, but in like a drop where it's sort of like don't know if it's the side chain like kicking through, but where it's sort of like it like falls out like a boom.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Side
Side
chain,
chain, right? Yeah, that's a super cool effect. I love when artists do that.
And then the last one that we've got coming up is Ryan Avatar, I believe. I'm just trying to think because I'm doing it based on the calendar, which I know has changed.
You're right. Worst comes to worst, it's a cut around job.
Yeah.
It's a post production.
Sick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess for you guys listen to that. I mean, the electronic scene as a whole is so vast, and like would usually very heavy when it comes to like the melody and like the really luscious like vocals, that kind of stuff. Hearing a track like that, is that something that would inspire you? Or is that just never really in your listenership? Like something a little bit heavier in that sense.
That is the sort of stuff we'd play live.
Really?
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, I think that I mean, hearing that tune live would be dope, man. But let's get into it. So, as Dan mentioned just earlier on, alongside Diviners, like sort of being those cornerstone artists that we have at NCS, like people that have been there since day one, from the NCS 10 release that we did to all the way back in the day. How did it all start for you? To tell us how you first kicked it off, got to meet each other, and then what the journey's been like since then.
Well, we met in school. We were like, what?
15, something like that. 14, 15.
It was really our friend. His name's Adam. His big brother showed him Fruity Loops
Okay.
way back when, and I don't know. I was like, what the hell is this? So we sat in his bedroom for like, everyone else was going out drinking and stuff, and then we'd be sat in his bedroom making, I don't know, plane noises, thinking we were like, like super cool. And but yeah, it went from there. And I mean, I was always really into like, I don't know, I was a nerd. Like at that point, I was dabbling in music, but I was also like designing MySpace pages.
Yeah.
But music just took over like completely. So just from there, I just decided like that's what I want to try and put my focus into.
Yeah. Then we went to college together. He was in a group called Diverse first.
Yeah.
Remember, he had 1,000 likes on Facebook, so we didn't want to leave him.
Yeah.
Back then 1,000 likes on Facebook.
That was
I've got 1,000 likes on Facebook. I was like, come on, man, we can do it. Blah blah blah. Then we left, and we made Miko Lights On.
Yeah.
And
that was the first.
Didn't we get like 4,000 off that song alone?
Something like that. It won the remix competition. That was when we first sort of was like, okay, this is our sound. It's like melodic, and it's had like an American twist on it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What was it like for you guys before actually meeting? And did you have that passion of wanting to do music or listening to it all the time, or did you both bring it out of each other?
Football and like stupid, like drinking as kids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We used to drink in the park together, and just
Like I say, it was just stumbling upon Adam, who stumbled upon Fruity Loops. Really, that was it. Just from there.
Do you still produce with Fruity Loops?
No,
No.
I wouldn't know how to use it.
What are you guys on now?
Ableton.
Oh, wicked.
Is that that's your preferred overall?
Yeah,
That's a big statement.
We downloaded Pro Tools this month.
Yeah, we couldn't do it.
Mate, I swear, it's just like Alien. I feel like this is what it's like when I show my wife like Ableton or something.
Yeah. What are all these colours, all these boxes? Do you think that like being friends for so long and like, I mean, how long have you been mates all together now?
I won't really say we're mates.
Nah, it's acquaintance.
work colleagues.
Yeah, work colleagues. Nah, since year 9, was it? Year 9, year 10?
Yeah.
So whatever age that is, like 14, 15.
Okay, yeah.
So a good 12 years, 13 years, something like
Yeah.
I mean, that longevity as friends as well as like colleagues in a sense, like how do you figure out that dynamic? Is there a lot of like butting heads? Is it a lot of like, oh, because he's my mate, I can tell him this is shit, I don't like this, or how does it work?
Nah, Chris takes the lead on it, mate. Chris, like, he changes stuff.
Oh yeah, like
mate,
he'll just
we'll come back. Look, I don't know, say we're recording some vocals or something, and look, on the day of the races, look, we'll get there and Chris will be like, oh yeah, everything's changed. Like, it'll be a completely different song. He'll be like, you got to sing this now. Like, "All right, guys." Yeah.
Is that a good dynamic for you, Chris, like leading it like that?
do you know what? It's not so much like I prefer to do it that way. That's just the way I am.
Yeah.
Like I'm so back and forth on stuff. It's probably a bad thing as well. But lately I feel like it's been, what we've been doing lately is we've had songs for about a year, you know, like back in lockdown we wrote some new songs. And then it was like, we can make these better. So we've actually had like version 2 and 3. I mean, you and I, which we released with you guys, there was like 2 different versions before that. So
Do you think that's like, sorry to interrupt, do you think that's like a thing of wanting to make it perfect, or not being a fan of what you make? Because like I get it with my housemate, right? He'll finish something, he'll be like, he'll go back and listen to it a week later and be like, this just isn't it anymore, and you're having to rework it? Or is it just like you, as you say, being that perfectionist and be like, I need to get as much as I can out of it?
do you know what it actually was? During like the end of lockdown, I got really into like YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. And it was watching that, I was like, God damn, man, I can make these tracks so much better if I just go back to the drawing board. And yeah.
What was it like for you being in the studio with your mate? Apart from him telling you what to do, does it feel surreal to be there?
No, it's just comfortable, isn't it? It's
just used to it now,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
just
what we
used
do.
to it. It's just normal. Like we've always just been doing it. It feels like it's like been forever now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like, I don't think, you don't really feel like there's a dynamic or there's.
No,
It's just a routine kind of thing. So
I mean,
there's
we went to China for 3 weeks, 2019.
Oh no.
Was that a tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked wicked. That yeah.
It was wicked. But before I went, my wife said, like, you know, Dylan's known my wife for the same amount of time. Like, and she was like, how are you and Dylan going to be in the same room for 3 weeks? And there was
nothing. Yeah, we loved it.
Yeah.
What was that like? Tell us about that tour.
Oh, mate, amazing. Great.
That's like the pinnacle of. This is what it's why we was doing it. Do you know what I mean? So we was getting picked up from the airport. We had like a chauffeur, like, all that stuff, and we was just looking at each other like, how is this happening?
Yeah.
We get to a club and people outside, people holding culture code flags. It was just,
That's
it was
amazing.
unreal.
That's
Yeah,
unreal.
So,
it was unreal.
what was that for? Just like a literal culture code tour, or were you like with
Yeah,
people
just
as well?
No, it was just a culture code tour.
Oh, nice, class. For something like that, seeing your music resonate in such a foreign land from we spoke about this before, how especially for like producer artists, the fact that you can sit in your bedroom and make a song, and then 5 years down the line you could be traveling all over the world and hearing a crowd of people that you've never met in your life sing it like back to you. How does that feel?
Just like you put it, mate. Like we just, it's surreal.
Yeah.
It was mad because it got took away as well. So it was kind of, that's what kind of the dip was, because 1 minute we're there and it's 2019. We come back in, what is it, October? Chris brought COVID back with him.
We can cut that out.
No, and then we had like, what was it, like 3 more months booked in 2020. And then, like, within the click of a finger, it's gone.
How did you adjust to that? I mean, you mentioned earlier,
We
Chris,
didn't.
that there
We
was
just
just a
stopped.
big
We
slow.
just stopped.
I mean, a lot of artists that I've spoken to and we've done interviews on like the Arcade channel and stuff have literally said like it was. I think what is really unique about you two is that you're physically together as a duo.
Yep.
So like when you're producing, and a lot of the artists that I said are like that I've interviewed have said, the dynamic hasn't really changed, because a lot of these sessions they're already doing on Zoom because they might be based in UK and then speak to someone in Amsterdam, for example. But for you two, being able to actually meet, and then the world and our country alone saying you can't do that, I bet that was just a challenge.
Do you know what? I think on reflecting back, I think that's what it was. I feel like we sort of motivate each other when we see each other. Like, come on, we got to get this done. We got to work on this song. Got to do this. Got to do that. And we physically couldn't see each other for like nearly a year.
Yeah, it was literally because obviously Chris's wife has heart problems and stuff. So you was in lockdown before lockdown actually happened.
Complete proper isolation. Yeah,
whatsoever.
yeah. God, I mean, touch wood twice. So it feels like we're
Out of it, yeah.
out of it. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's get to the tracks. Make Me Move, right? Iconic song of the Culture Code catalogue. Currently, off the top of your head, know how many views it's up to on YouTube at the moment?
52, 53 million.
Yeah, I think it was the end of 50s, wasn't it?
57 million at the moment on YouTube. Tell us about the story behind that track and it getting signed.
That's
Rewinding the clocks there.
how long you got? So Cara sent over the vocals.
Love Cara.
Yeah, she's great.
Amazing.
So good.
As soon as I heard it, because it was like I think it was like a drum and bass track originally, and I heard it, I swear to God, straight away, all I heard was dun 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 dun. And I was like, okay, and that stuck with me. I didn't work on the track for about a month. I was doing other stuff, and then as soon as I come to work on the track again, it was still there, that melody. So I was like, okay, it's got to start with that. So the track was done. Then my mum sent me it was a competition for Vodafone and Capital FM. You got to submit an original track. I didn't submit that track because that track wasn't done at the time. I submitted another one called Never Let Go. That won. And then part of the prize was that they wanted to do an official video for a song. So I just sent over 3 songs and they was like, no, we want Make Me Move. So I was like, all right, great. We did that. And then we got pressure from like Cara's manager. Like, you can't film an official video for a song that hasn't been released yet. I was like, oh my God. So like, what happened? I think I just sent the song to you, didn't I? And I think you just put back in capital letters. You was like, yes.
Yeah, I can't even remember what happened. That was back in the day.
Yeah, it was way back.
Yeah, I absolutely love that track. I think, like, I've said it on the podcast many, many times that, like, that's my, and this isn't to big you guys up in any way, but, like, that is my favorite track out of all the tracks on NCS.
Seriously?
Is Make Me Move. Like, I love that track.
It's a massive statement. Yeah. He has genuinely said that off
Yeah.
recording as well, so he's not just begging it. So it was the Capital thing came first because I didn't realise that. I thought it would have been that the track was out.
No.
So then you reach out to NCS and then we're like, right, get this one out. And then little did you know it then did what it would have done on NCS as well.
Had no idea it was going to do that well. None whatsoever.
I think that was back in 2015. I actually think that maybe it was Billy that accepted it. I'm not sure whether it was me or Billy.
But I thought it was you.
I don't know. But yeah, I think that was one of the first tracks that, like, I'd properly, like, was involved in when I started. So I think it was 2015 maybe.
What's it like for you guys seeing? I mean, obviously in the way that NCS works and the fact that the music can be used all over the internet, scrolling through, and then I mean, I'm sure at your time you were getting tagged in like videos where it's a snowboarding video or somebody scoring.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
His little brother was like, he loves football. His little brother does, and he's like, I'm watching a video, and then boom, it just comes on. So he's loving it. But yeah, it's quite loads, hasn't it?
We've been sent the weirdest stuff like Harry from the Sidemen.
Yeah,
Playing it and singing to it.
That makeup artist,
what's the makeup artist's name?
I don't know.
Does Kim
massive
Kardashian's?
Yeah, makeup artist.
someone big on YouTube.
Yeah.
Charlotte, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, Charlotte's here, by the way. You haven't even said hello today.
Well, it's hard because I don't have headphones on, so it does actually feel really weird.
I'm not sure your mic works either.
No, it's because we can't hear her in heads. That's what it is. It's because we can't hear her in heads.
Yeah, but why would we not?
Oh, but we would still be able to hear her. All right, well, we'll run with it. Charlotte's here. It might just have to be that that we do a bit of a filling in time. But
Charlotte said hello like that.
I can actually see you as well now, which I usually can't. Yeah, your mic's definitely not on, so we'll have to skirt around that. It's all right. I remember where I was at. You can just nod to agree if I'm wrong on this. Make Me Move has been used, the track, in 2 million videos.
2 million? What?
2 million videos. That's just YouTube alone, right? Yeah. 2 million videos. How insane is that?
That is mad.
I didn't know that.
To me, it's like...
Look at this out the other day as well.
What is this you're trying to figure out?
When we done the socials for yous, on the last track.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, and we was trying to figure out how did you get it? How did you get the information?
It's magic.
Magic.
NCS Magic.
Yeah.
Need
Yeah,
to know
someone-
basis.
You know, it's one of them ones.
We made it up.
Yeah, it's two. It's
Yeah,
two. It's not
it's
million.
two.
It's just two. What do you think the format to try and get a bit of like baiting in so we can get a cool title out of this? In terms of like the seeing that song get used in so many videos and the format of getting signed to NCS. What's that journey with NCS been like for you, and how does it feel to have that NCS 10 release as well with us?
Oh, incredible. I mean, we've been on NCS since before it was a label, weren't we? I mean, Billy used to put our stuff up on like our unofficial remixes and stuff. And then after we got took down, I think the first one, I might be wrong, but I think it was Waking Up.
Sounds about right. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I mean, that was some time ago now, so it's been a wild ride. But yeah, we still continue to release music with you guys if you have us. And
What was it like with working with Alexis Don on You and I? Because that track was for us as well. It was like that sort of like comeback era as well.
Yeah.
And we were doing the NCS 10 stuff where there was loads of like the legacy artists with those mega collabs as well. What was it like working with her?
Well, we didn't really work with her. We're trying to get more into the writing now.
Yeah.
But it was more like Chris always calls it a remix. He's like, yeah.
Oh, you mentioned this in the video,
because,
right?
Yeah, because obviously we get like we'll just get
just like a
vocals.
with,
We'll just get like a list of somebody's. Say Alexis Dunn, she's got like 6-7 songs that ain't released. She'll send us the link. Listen to them. Boom. And
Okay.
we'll just-
How do
we'll
you
just
how do
roll
you
there.
think like obviously there's a lot of like aspiring like up and coming producers out there that need vocals. They'll quite often use like Splice.
Yeah.
How did you guys get to a point where you've got vocalists sending you music? Was that like a certain point in your career, or do you reach out to people and say, hey, have you got any vocals? Like what's the approach?
See, we always remixed to start off with.
Right.
And I'm not sure if that's the reason why we were able to approach more vocalists. We didn't do original music for the longest time, did we?
No, we didn't. It weren't really a thing when we started.
No, because there's people like Adventure Club. I don't know if you've heard of those guys, and they were just doing remixes and blowing up. So we started doing that. And then when it came to original music, some people had heard of us, so it was kind of easier to
Yeah. Get them
yeah.
to say yes. But a lot of these singers, songwriters, they're pretty cool. Obviously, you just have to pay fees and stuff like that. So if a lot of the time, listen, like say NCS, we'll go through the tracks. If I like a singer, we're like, okay, we're gonna reach
Yeah,
out to that
yeah.
singer. Go onto Facebook, click on, see if you can find the management. If you can't find the management, like Instagram, whatever you can.
Mm.
And then a lot of them are cool. Do you know what I mean?
Got you.
They'll send it. It's just when it comes to releasing the song. Okay.
I think that's what's we've spoken about this before, of like that it's really interesting having such a wide community of people all around the world, but it actually being so like close knit and
Yeah.
tight, and it will be like, oh, this vocalist was on this track, or this person remixed for this person. Being part of that community, and especially as a duo, with the reaching out, whether it is just messaging, how do you think that like online world has benefited you guys?
Oh, 1,000,000%. Like say Alexis Dunn, she's from Nashville, but we were still able to make a track happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the interesting thing about that song was she sent us another song. It was called DNA, I believe, and it didn't have that chorus. So that was like our first dabble into songwriting. We wrote like it was kind of what it is now. It
Yeah.
was like sometimes I lose my, and whatever that goes. We wrote something slightly different, and she was like, "Oh, I love that." She was like, "Let me sit with it for a few days," and then sent us that chorus back.
Okay, yeah, and it's interesting that those things can literally just come out of hopping on a call,
Yeah.
or getting sent something. Like back in the day, it'd be so different to that. Like you'd have to set up a meeting and go and like actually physically
Yeah,
travel to
that's-
see
yeah, yeah.
somebody. Do you find it when you're working with someone else? This is something I'd like to know. Being in a duo and having such a way of working that you guys know, especially if you, I think in most cases you're working with writers, right, as opposed to like the producers. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just more like a vocalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any points where you're like, I'm not sure on if this is going to work? I'm sure there is, of like this vocalist. And like, how do you approach that as a duo? Like giving the feedback, or do you have to consolidate everything together before you go and approach somebody else?
As in, what do you,
So like say you've reached out to a vocalist, it isn't quite right, and then you've got both of your opinions sort of clashing with each other. How do you manage to consolidate feedback and stuff?
You say just ignore them.
Just let the track die out for a bit. Come back around.
Does one of you have to take the lead, like you said in the sessions?
That's a tricky one, isn't it? Because we're the kind of people that don't like to. We're not very cutthroat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very
So you don't want to offend them, so you
Yeah,
sort of stop.
yeah.
We'll take the
We
track.
don't stop talking. We just like, I don't know. I feel like we're getting better at it.
Yeah, it also helps having a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play the bad guy.
Someone can be the bad guy. Yeah, you need that for sure. What's the biggest things that you've learned from each other working in a duo? We're getting emotional.
Nah, I don't know. Just how he's talented. He does put a lot of work into it. So that's what he's a hard worker in that sense. Like this, he's always watching tutorials. He's like, yeah, watch this. He's like putting tutorials on my laptop. Like, you need to watch this, and I'll click on it, and the video will be like 6 hours long of just the geezer listening to a kick drum. Like,
You just get through the ad and then you.
I'm like,
skip
oh,
off.
and I watch 10 minutes, and it's just like, and he's like, did you hear that one? I was like, no.
Or you just lie and you go, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you learned from Dylan?
I've learned to, because like Dylan says, I do like most of the time take the lead. I've learned to not take the lead as much and to take other people's opinions in, which was something I struggled with at the start.
Do you recommend people working in a duo? It's good for people starting out. Dan mentioned earlier, like it's aside from like solo in it and going deep in on the YouTube, getting that like community or somebody around you that's like minded and figures it out. Is that something that you'd recommend?
1,000,000%. Not only that, I think people, if you blow up, there's going to be the live aspect as well. And I've done shows alone, and they are quite depressing. I went to India for a week, and that felt longer than going to China for 3 weeks.
Why? Just
I was on
because
my
you're
own.
by yourself.
Yeah.
And I guess when you're on stage as well, it's
Oh,
just
mate,
it makes
so
it so
much-
so
so much
much
more
fun.
fun.
Yeah. Do you ever just speak to each other like when you're in that moment, like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
China was that moment.
That's so
China
cool.
was crazy, to be fair. When I come back as well, so like when I come back to Culture Code, I hadn't DJed, I hadn't done nothing for like 4 years, something like that. And then it's like a week. He's like, oh yeah, we got a show in a week. I'm like, I ain't even done anything for how many years. So we'd done that, and it was Manchester, and not even halfway through, like 6 songs in, I just went, "Oof," and I just froze. And I could just hear Chris like looking at me like that, but I'm just froze, looking forward, and he's like, just move, and he's like taking over. But then come China, I remember he took, because obviously we got up 2 songs each mixing.
Yeah.
And I remember he just jumped down off stage, and I was about to start mixing. He's just like, and he took my mix. I was so pissed. I was like,
He
what
stole
are you
it.
doing?
I got
He was
lost in the
arguing on
moment.
stage. Yeah. I was like, what are you doing?
This is my show.
You just pause the track screaming at each other. That's hilarious.
It's not always fun.
We're gonna have words after.
From your guys' socials, which is especially when you came up with you and I and the things you've been putting out since, you lean in a lot into like the funny content, the little like you did the what was the recent one, the 24 hours in both of your days, and we had the ghost before with the little bed sheet. Yeah.
Hashtag ghosty.
What's your opinion on the current like digital world and having to create that kind of content? Why do you think it's so beneficial for you guys?
We just like to be silly and stupid. I mean, that's just always been us. That's what got us before music or anything. Like, it was just our sort of humor and stuff. So we've just wanted to carry that forward into what we do with this, because I don't know. There's like a part of us that doesn't just want to be musicians, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain. Like, we do want to be musicians, but we want people to see the non-musician side as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of a fine line, and it's like it's a fine line to tread, because we do that sometimes. Like, we'll spend like a month just making videos,
Yeah.
and then you'll put them out, and then it's not really done anything for you, but we've enjoyed making the videos. Do you know what I mean? And then we'll just spend like loads of time on music, and then we ain't posted nothing on Instagram for like 3-4 weeks. We need to find that balance. But
I almost feel like doing like content and videos and things like that doesn't necessarily mean that you get more streams, but it almost like adds context to like who you are.
that's
It,
what
like,
that's the
creates
question we always
personality.
get. We always get that question. Like,
But especially before doing that stuff as well, like who were Culture Code, and we weren't really showing the non-music side to us. So I think that answers your question. That's why we did that.
Yeah.
We spoke to Sam Day, who was our last guest on here, and he mentioned that he goes by his name as an artist, and it was that the talk about like authenticity behind a brand. I think showing yourselves in like a space where you literally just having a mess about and chilling and showing that yes, these people love the music they listen to, but they're actually also getting to know the people. There's so much more for an audience than you'd think as well. Like for them to be able to be like, that's the guy that made the song, but he's also like has a laugh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's a really cool thing. Have you got? I was about to mention what we spoke about earlier about being your favourite track.
Yeah.
Have you guys got a favourite Culture Code release on NCS? If so, which one?
Make me move.
That's a
Make
big
Me Move
question.
for You and I.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Which version of Make Me Move? Because I've got three. There's three of them that are on here. Well, and you got four.
I think we've got to play the original, Dan. To be honest, I'd like to take a quick trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
We can dive into a bit of the production on it if you guys can get the cogs turning to remember some of that.
Is that guitar? What is that?
It's an atmosphere patch. It is a guitar.
You
yeah.
said that like I know what
Yeah.
that was. It's
I actually
an
knew-
atmosphere patch. Duh.
That's my problem. Duh.
Sounds like Dan needs a tutorial sent over to him.
Hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals.
It is so strong on the melodies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hold tight.
Because you've got the melody in the background there.
Yeah.
The little counter.
That's what I wanted though. I wanted so when the drop hit, you've already heard it. Like,
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. If you added like a vocoder to a voice or something there, it's like a
You know what? I didn't touch her voice.
no.
She does all her own mixing.
Oh, nice.
Power
When you
treatment.
get it straight, yeah. She's good, but
Because it feels like that vocal's the chorus drop type thing, but then you've got this bit.
There it is.
I have to say as well, James Roche remix is amazing.
He killed it.
I love that one. I really like that one.
I think I sent that to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because he messaged me on Facebook and he was like, I've done a remix of your song. Will you listen to it? I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I listened to it. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because we put that on. That was when we hit 10 million subscribers, I think.
Damn.
It was either 10 million subscribers or something like that, and we did a video that said thank you. And we used that song.
It was that because I was scrolling through today.
Yeah.
But you had like ID.
Yeah, we used that song, and everyone was like absolutely going mad for that remix, and obviously we dropped it a couple weeks later.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one we play live as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's when a fan's completely singing that song back when you're playing it live?
Do you know what? Because we haven't done that many shows over here to that scale. And China, they didn't really know lyrics. If you
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's hard.
They knew melodies and not
Yeah.
the words.
Yeah. You put it as a little pop-up thing in the video that we did the breakdown on Arcade for you and I. The name Culture Code, where did that come from, and how does it feel to be competing with a book?
Not only competing but losing.
Yeah, we're losing. The top culture code in this book comes up for like 4 pages, and then we're next.
Do you know what that book's about though?
Nah.
It's about like the dynamics of working as a team.
Is it?
Yeah, something like that. It's like team working.
We inspired it.
We inspired the book. Then.
That'd be a-
It's actually your
lawsuit
book,
there,
isn't
it's
it?
like, oh yeah.
It's
Right,
another
back to the
alias.
back cover.
Where did the name Culture Code come from?
We were just sort of. Do you know what? Again, this is just how stupid we are. Like, we. So we had a mate that was doing a night, and he was like, "You guys need a name to put you on the poster." So it was just like,
Typing random words into Google,
yeah,
and then one come up culture, then one come up code,
that was.
and then we was like, yeah, culture code. And then
I wish we could say that there was
just to
some
put it
big
on a
meaning
flyer.
behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
Just to put
so
it on a
good.
flyer.
And that was literally just a night from you and mate.
Yeah. Like if we
Yeah.
didn't have that night, we'd probably have a different name now.
Definitely would have a different name.
There was no alternatives then, just a literal Google.
Yeah, that was it.
That's great. I love that. That's so good. We spoke about. I want to look back to like the video they did to the Capital FN thing, which was like Vodafone breakthrough or something like that,
yeah,
right?
Future Breaker.
Future Breaker. There you go. What was it like being? Were you in that? You were in the video, right?
Oh God.
For like a little bit, because I had a little. Because we were speaking about this, we were like, are these in the video? And then like just in the first like 10 seconds or so. There's a little pan past the camera.
Just walks. Yeah.
Yeah, a little slow. What was it like making a video for a song that you produced?
I don't want to go back there.
Oh, we're gonna dive deeper.
We're going straight into it, yeah.
Do you know how many takes that was? Because there's like, it's so hard to be organic when there's no music playing, and they're like, you've got to look like you're DJing to a house party. I was like, oh my god.
They didn't play the song though.
It was very quiet.
Oh, okay.
It's very I was there, but obviously I was just watching. I was filming everything for him, and they're all like what do you call them? Like drama kids.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
So
from
we're like
college,
quite
weren't they? Yeah.
we're quite like reserved and stuff, and these kids are like
like Chris,
and then,
why are you
yeah,
not popping?
Yeah, and we're just standing there like, oh god.
And the worst bit is they're asking me, like, these guys from this college, like, so what college are you from? I'm like, no, this is my song.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, you could take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I bet you were loving that, just standing off screen,
Oh,
just.
mate. Yeah, I was like, oh my. One geezer was like, yeah, get in the crowd, mate. I was like, nah, I'm good. I've got a film.
They were great, like Vodafone and Capital. It's just, I'm quite an awkward guy. I'm quite introverted, and that was like completely taking me out of my,
Yeah, of course,
my
of
space.
course, of course. You both, outside of being producers, you've got day jobs. You have family life as well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people that listen and watch this podcast are probably, as Dan said earlier, upcoming producers, younger kids that they're probably one of the stresses is like, are they going to go and see their friends, or are they going to stay in and produce? For you guys having full on 9 to 5 and then family life as well, how do you get that balance? Dylan, coming to you first.
Just got to give up sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we speak about this. You're struggling when it comes to the sleep, right? There's
Give
just
up sleep. So I work nights on the railway, and then family, I just go pick my son up 1 till 7 most days, apart from Wednesday and Monday. Wednesday and Monday is when I'm with Chris.
why?
Have you got any like inside scoops on like the railway stuff? Because like when my train's delayed, could I like text you and you'd be like, mate, you'll be fine. Just wait
because
15.
I'm on track. That's why it's delayed.
Oh, yeah,
Just
of
ask me
course.
when I'm working. If I'm working,
Don't book it
yeah.
then.
Don't get the train.
Oh, he's just producing. You just did an extra hour instead. What's it like for you, Chris, having that balance?
Luckily, I've got to a place now where, because I used to work at Next at the airport, Birmingham Airport.
Yeah.
So I was doing like that, and then I was helping my wife with her business and trying to do music. But I mean, and actually, I owe it all to NCS. I was able to quit that job at Next to do this. I'd say for half the week I help my wife with her job, and for the other half, and I mean, I get every extra hour in I can.
Yeah.
As soon as my wife and daughter have gone to bed, I'm upstairs working on music. But yeah, I mean, I guess it depends how much it means to you. Like, there are hours in the day to get stuff done. It's just what you're going to do with that time.
Yeah, that's so true. Do you have any advice to like upcoming producers if they're really sort of kicking it off? I mean, for you guys, you were in the unique position that you were friends and then happened to turn this into something that is a passion, and you're getting some kind of income from it as well. But yeah, any advice to like a young producer starting out?
Network.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, network.
I feel like that's something we didn't do at the start, but we can't tell you how important it is now. Just
It's who you know.
Yeah,
1,000,000%.
definitely.
I mean, we've mentioned it like earlier today. We found out that there's a good chance that the four of us would have been within a quarter mile of each other before we even met each other
Yeah,
however
how
many
crazy
years
is
ago,
that?
which is crazy.
We went to the same uni.
Yeah, I was working
Yeah.
whilst you would have been there, and it's weird that like network, even without knowing, is so intertwined. And then we said that it is just everyone at least knows of someone. I feel like with the digital age as well, it's a lot easier to
Yeah.
make those connections. All right.
Oh, 1,000,000%, yeah.
Daniel,
Yes, sir.
hello, mate. You got any sneaky unreleased tracks that we can maybe
Yeah.
play out for the
So
audience?
this is that snippet that I was telling you about, where I play music that's unreleased because I really enjoy it, and it gets snippeted every time. Like the last video, I don't. You know what? I don't know whether I should just not say who it is.
Don't say who it is, but for anyone watching that's thinking of doing this, it must be so much effort to clip out a clip of Dan talking over the top of a song and then say unreleased. Don't bother.
Do you know what I've noticed they do as well? They'll cut it so it hasn't got speaking on it as well now.
There's going to be so many versions of your songs with vocal chops in that's just you speaking.
I might just talk over the whole thing.
yeah. We should that's pretty a new thing on NCS.
All right. So just to clarify, it's just the SoundCloud stuff. Anything on SoundCloud? Cool.
Oh, Charlotte, I'm sad that I can't hear you properly.
I think you'll pick it up on the mic.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play 3 tracks.
All right.
Is that right, or do I play more? Because we played more last time.
Play as many as you
Do as-
want, as long as they're on SoundCloud.
Okay.
There you go. Free wheel it down.
So we've got a track coming up from Weiberg WBN called Complicated. I had this stuck in my head this morning and I couldn't work out what it was until I listened to it later. I don't know who the vocal is on this, but I'm convinced it's Veronica Bravo. Do you know Veronica Bravo? Fast forward. So we think that they are brothers. You were just saying.
Yeah, I obviously won't say their last names, but they've got the same last name.
Oh, that's very cool. So I really like that one.
Track.
Then we've got a track from a guy called Millbrook that hasn't released with us before. He's a drum and bass artist. Is it UK based? He's UK, right? Or am I making that up?
I'm not sure.
Say again, sorry?
It's got a Netsky feel to it.
Yeah. But he's just announced that he's doing a show with Dimension. You know Dimension?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's really
Can't
cool.
play much
Yeah.
more than that. I swear, every time the audio gets worse and worse for me. Like at the moment, it's just I can just
Yeah,
about hear the
kinda
track.
like that,
yeah.
Reverb a lot.
And the last one I'm going to play is some cool names, and I'm just trying to remember if it's
Just
all-
play it out. If you're not sure, just play it. You don't need to.
If it's on SoundCloud, we're good. All right. Is
Don't get so
Cartoon?
stressed with this every week.
Yeah, Cartoon and Andromedic.
Oi.
Whatever feat Yuri Putzman.
This one's going to get ripped.
Yeah. This is where I'm going to talk over the top.
Yeah.
And they're going to
You
try.
ain't, you ain't taking this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You ain't taking it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Do you guys listen to like people's demos? And you mentioned earlier about for the remix that gets sent through anymore. Or are you really sort of just focused on your own stuff?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you like still listen to like anyone's demos? Like send out that feedback back to people to try and get inspiration, or is it just you're solely focused on the Culture Code stuff right now?
Oh no, we definitely listen to people's demos and stuff.
We just give them feedback. Like someone will message us on Instagram or something, send us a link.
Yeah.
We'll just give them some feedback.
Oh, nice. We asked earlier on our Instagram before we started going some questions. We've covered how you guys met. So we've got a question from Instagram that asks about you guys coming back and saying that they miss your music, which is very sweet.
Oh, thank you.
It'd be sort of good segue there to see what's your. We said you've already had a release this year already.
Mm-hmm.
What's the 2022 plans looking like for Culture Code?
We've released 2 songs.
2 songs in 2 months now. Yeah.
Sorry, 2 songs. Apologies.
That's
Right.
good.
I think we're planning to do 12
Yeah.
at least.
Wow.
Oh,
We're
nice.
going to try one a month.
Yeah, and literally writing the lyrics, the vocals, trying to just to try and make it more
More us,
us.
you know.
Yeah, obviously we're still working with amazing singers, Alexis Dunn, and that's helping us write some songs.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Hannah and everyone like that. Though. So we got songwriters working with, obviously because we've just started out.
Do you know what? It's just so much fun. Like,
Yeah,
we know that we're not fucking genius lyricists, but is that even a word, lyricists?
not
Yeah.
that.
I think it
so.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You're a smart boy, man.
No,
He doubted him.
But yeah, working with the songwriters, because what we've been doing is we've been starting the bare bones of a track, sending it off to one of our songwriters, and they'll like tweak it and perfect it, send it us back, and then we're looking for vocalists for those tracks then, which is really cool because we like to experiment with sounds and stuff, but we thought like if we write all the lyrics and stuff, then it's totally our sound because it will be sort of cohesive with whatever we release.
See, that's really interesting to hear because, I mean, obviously it's because of the collaborators that you've done, and you wouldn't know it unless you're the one making the song. But to me, there is the Culture Code sound, like we spoke about earlier, with the really like strong melodic and the super like sort of soft like vocals. But it's interesting to know that now is when you feel like you're actually crafting it.
Yeah, I mean that is weird. I've heard people like Charlie Puth say it. I think it's like a, like a self-doubt thing. Because Charlie Puth, I heard him in an interview saying that he thought his old stuff, like Marvin Gaye and One Call Away, he was like, I don't know what I was doing during that point. And to me, that just sound like Charlie Puth songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like a self-criticalness to it.
Yeah, I think it's easier to not down things that you've done yourself as well, isn't it? That's an easier thing to do. Are you planning to get back on the road? We've spoken a lot about the tours.
Yeah.
Plan to get back out there.
I want to hit America, man.
That's where we want to. We wanted to get there for a good few years now.
Yeah.
But
Is there a big crowd for your music in the US?
yeah.
It's
Oh,
where
nice.
most of our demographics from, yeah.
Oh wow,
Your
awesome.
Spotify breakdowns and everything like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever been out there?
No.
No.
We've had show offers. That's the really depressing part. We've had so many show offers, but we just can't do it and we can't risk it.
We need a visa. Obviously, we're trying to get a portfolio together.
Hmm.
The plan is this year we're just going to get all these songs out. We got manager Craig now.
Yeah.
He just wants us to get music out this year so we can start shipping it around.
Yeah, it's about getting
Yeah.
that catalogue,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, we need to put ourselves back on the map.
Yeah, I bet it's super exciting we've already touched on it like just then, but like this sort of revitalized energy. But it's feeling like you took that break away, then you've come back. It's 2 in 2 months. It's like a sort of that new wave for you
I
guys,
feel
right?
like that break was needed.
Yeah,
I feel like, I don't know, I feel recharged.
Mm.
We've been doing it like, 10 years now, Culture Guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
that's so long.
Yeah, and now I feel more motivated than ever before.
That's amazing. How do you deal with those like moments, whether it's like a writer's block or like knockbacks that you get, or just sort of not having that mojo? Do you think that, I mean, use the evidence of it now, of like taking that break away, but how do you deal with that kind of like criticism or tough times?
Make YouTube videos. Start making stupid Instagram videos and stuff. Nah, I don't know, but we just don't talk. We just after 3 weeks, we're like, hey, do you want to start again? Yeah, we'll do it.
That space is obviously key. I mean, it's worked
Yeah.
for you. It's worked for you.
No, I think doing what we're doing now, with the songwriting and stuff, I haven't felt a moment since we started doing that where it's, because you can literally start anywhere. You grab a guitar and you start
Yeah.
humming melodies over a guitar and that, and we haven't found a time where we're like, okay, I've got no ideas.
Yeah, we're not stuck. We're just not stuck for it. Because everyone, and then once you start writing a song, you think, this might be decent. And because it's like a new process,
Yeah.
you think you can't wait for it to be finished out. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe it's because we're so fresh to songwriting, but
Yeah.
I feel like we're producing. You sit at your laptop, and it's like, shit, man, where do I start? Do I start with drums? Do I start with a piano? Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's where my writer's block would have come from before. But with this, it's so minimal.
Yeah,
You can grab a guitar, start writing out a song, and it can just change. Like, you don't have to have it with guitar afterwards. You can do whatever you want, but you've already got a song going.
It's sort of like the bare bones of music, really, isn't it? It's just like something, and whatever your brain can
Yeah.
produce. Yeah. Whereas, like, I guess maybe it is the fact of when you open like one of your doors and you're in there, there's so much information there and so much things at your fingertips that I guess it can be overwhelming at some point.
It's I can't remember the saying, but it's something of choice. Like, there's a problem with having too much to choose from.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool. But I mean, good to hear that the motivation's there for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of actual production, I wanted to quickly dive into this before we get towards wrapping things up. But actual production tips, and like I know we've spoken about the taking a break away from things, getting people around you that can give that good advice. For production, how do you guys approach starting a track? Is it well, nowadays we've got the guitar, but when it comes to like elements and making that sort of signature Culture Code sound that we mentioned, is there any little tips and tricks that you could share?
Actually, always the vocals on it. It's just
Yeah,
always.
vocals have always been king for us. Like, like I said with the Make Me Move track, we always started with a top line. So it was always about just building. We'd start with a top line, then get the chords. So we'd do the chords in like basic piano. And then once we've got them sounding good with the vocal, then it's about finding, okay, what can we change this piano sound to make it sound cooler? Have you got a melody involved, like in your mind? Like, that dun, 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 dun. That would have gone through about 10 different sort of patches before we landed on that one.
Do you like vocalists sending you literally just the vocal, or do you like it where there's a bit of a backing as well, like to show like the
Always get
chords? Or
stripped.
Just
always
completely just stripped.
Well,
Yeah.
nah, they'll
We
just
receive it
depends.
with the backing.
Yeah, we receive it with the backing. Could just be a piano, but it will always just get stripped. The vocal will always just get taken out.
Right.
And
But
nothing.
does it ever make you go, oh, actually, like, does that ever inspire you to then make the song around those chords, or will you try and not listen to that and just go, all right,
That's a good question. I prefer it when, in the example of Make Me Move, it was the instrumental was so minimal. It sounds, if you heard it, it sounds nothing like.
Yeah.
I prefer it when it's really minimal, so you can sort of you get an idea, but you can sort of take it anyway. Whereas if it's really produced, you tend to sort of go that way that it already was, because that's what suited the vocal.
I've definitely found as well, like I've worked on like tracks where it's the producer sending a vocalist like an instrumental, and they'll call the instrumental tabletop, for example, just because it's just a random file name, and then that writer will then make a song around the song called tabletop, which I almost feel like it's almost best if you can just listen literally just to the audio and like get no other sort of inspiration, just go, all right, that's what I'm going to work from.
For that specific reason, we just name everything Culture Code Track 1.
Got you. Yeah.
And then you end up with like final _ V1,
Yeah.
V3. Yeah, that's always it. We always wrap these chats up in the same way. We get a hypothetical question, and then as listeners and viewers would know, and then we say what NCS track would best suit that scenario. So today we're gonna go really deep to wrap things up and talk about heartbreak.
Oh God.
So the question of the day is what NCS track would you listen to if you were going through a heartbreak? Dan, have you got one prepared that you're gonna
I
got
think
off the
Charles
bat?
had one, didn't you?
I can go first, yeah.
Yeah, what was
Go
the
on
one
then,
you had?
Charlotte.
Andrea Stone, Live Alive. 'Cause I actually wanted to go first, I thought you picked that one.
Is this the acoustic version or the non-acoustic version?
Non-acoustic.
Oh, non-acoustic. Okay. So Rival, Exile.
Took a
Right.
swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall and I found a way to
So. Yeah, we're playing that right now.
You got no headphones, mate. You're out on your own today. You're really in the wilderness.
So we've just had a heartbreak. I'm gonna play this song. I can see this.
Sure. I don't know if I'd listen to any music with a drop. My heart would break. but
Yeah, I wouldn't have had a drop on it.
That's quite hard in the NCS sphere, to be honest.
I think Charles saying something, but I can't hear
He's
it.
saying the acoustic version, but I'm not having it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Dan, you got one?
Yeah, so I'd probably listen to there's 2 tracks, but I'm gonna pick one of them. I think it's gonna be Diamond Eye's Father, the reimagined version.
Knew you
which
was
is
going to
this.
do that.
So this is just to make myself more sad, obviously.
I don't know what I'm like in this. I think I'd do wallow. I probably would be like, I'm going to just make myself really upset.
But Diamond Eye's voice in this is insane.
You guys ever worked with him before? No. I'd like to set that up.
I'm lost in a city, still so far.
This was recorded live in a church.
I've searched for you all my life.
English.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, he's English. Living in Germany at the moment.
Thought American for some reason.
Do either of you have an answer? Do you want to go through our sad playlist?
No, we had one. What's
Janji. We chose to go positive.
Janji,
Heroes Tonight.
Hear Us Tonight. Knew you were going to say that one.
Ah, so the bounce back.
Yeah. Can't
Yeah.
stay sad forever.
Oh, preach it. I'll tell you now, you're going to win because of this. They're going to love this.
Yeah, I think they know that. They've gone, let's go for the fakest, yeah.
My turn to try and compete, right? I had a Diamond Eyes one as well. Let me just find the name of it. I need to go into the NCS. I need to go onto the NCS sad music
Sad
playlist, which
yeah.
if you haven't already, go onto our Spotify and check that out. Hold on, Diamond Eyes.
Ah. because it's a bit like uplifting.
Yeah, I'm gonna wallow in the verse, and I'm gonna feel a little bit more happier.
Pick yourself up.
Yeah. We're back, baby.
So it's almost saying like, hold on.
Yeah,
You know, you
he's
can make it.
great.
Yeah, mine was just depressing. Then.
Hold you close. Let go of the riddle, 'cause you'll find life is a riddle.
I think Sam could have won this one, but I know they're going to win it because it's just here it is.
Well, you can let us know over on the community tab of who you thought won. I mean, Charlotte, I'm hoping that we played the right song because we really can't hear what you're saying. I think we did.
You'll find out when it
You'll
goes.
find out when it goes to vote.
Yeah.
When
Watch
it goes
the
to vote.
podcast.
Yeah, so we've mentioned about the next year for you guys. What's the ambition if we're looking far into the future for Culture Code? Do we want to be completely doing Culture Code 24/7? Are we liking the balance? What's the big aspirations for you both?
For me, it's probably see Dylan less.
I want to see Chris Mole. I want to live in with him. 2 months time.
You guys should do that. Both families.
Yeah, we can speak about this. Yeah, go on, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, Culture Code full time and start doing more shows and just pumping out music. You know what I mean? Just more of a full time thing, obviously.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the same for me, really. More full time. I mean, I'd love to just wake up and just do music for it the whole day. That's the dream. But
Well-
yeah, that and shows. I think that's
Yeah.
that's where we're headed.
Shows have got to come. We get the 12 track a month out, 2023 hits, and then we've seen Culture
Yeah.
Code back on the
And a
road.
show every
Let's
day.
hope so.
A show every day. Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you both coming on. Everyone, check descriptions for socials, etc. As well as go back and have a little trip down memory lane on the NCS tracks for Culture Code, and listen to You and I, the newest release as well. Part of our NCS 10 campaign. Pleasure having you boys on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
coming down. Yeah.
Appreciate you
thank
chatting. We're currently in the middle of doing some other bits and bobs that may or may not be out by the time this goes out on the arcade channel. So go over there and check it out and see if it is. But we'll see you next time on Full Circle. Thank you so much for listening and watching.
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.